Hi, this is a video on Destiny 2, of course, efficient bounty farm for Destiny 2. This is just showing how I level. This season I got to 777. I also skipped a few weeks of playing. This will show efficiency on what you can do day to day if you do plan on playing every single day. Some things to note that I will also post in the info or maybe as just a message or whatever and pin it. This is showing basically all the basics. You need the 12% XP thing, maybe some friends. When you turn in your bounties, just make sure that you're in a activity, because the 2% off the season pass that you get extra from being in a fire team. I guess this is how you can show it too. The large XP bonuses and all that, you can get extra from your fire team, but that stuff is only active when you're in an activity, when you turn in your bounties. So this is end of the season of the Haunted, and that's why I have all these bounties completed. I will talk about why I saved certain bounties compared to others for that later on in the video. For what this video is all about, it's about what you can do to optimize your time and how you play Destiny. Yes, it might feel like a job, but it's kind of free XP. You can see it as that. How I play it is that I do my Vanguard strikes. I'll pick up whatever is there for my main character, and then I pick up the extra ones. So you can see the XP plus, those are like the normal ones, so that's 6,000 XP. The extra ones grant 4,000 XP in Bright Dust. The Bright Dust doesn't matter, it's just the extras. The only bounties that I skip are generally ones that do like suppression or scorch, because usually they take longer, because ideally you do all your bounties in one strike. Whatever bounties that you're doing for Vanguard, you focus on those, but before you run that strike, you pick up all the bounties that you can, except for the extra 3,000 ones. But when you do buy gunsmith ones, you can buy the extra ones if you have the glimmer for it. You can also do the same thing for Cosmodrome, because you eventually will be going there. The only Cosmodrome bounty that I do not do is the patrol one, where it's asking you to do 3 of them, because typically the patrols on Cosmodrome are just long enough to be annoying to do more than one, because generally you can get all your bounties done very quickly. So in order, I do Vanguard. I don't do Gambit or Crucible if you're trying to just play on your ults for a very short period. Gambit would be the second easiest one, including the extra bounties for it. It's very fast. I would skip Europa because it's pretty slow unless you're wanting to farm the Eclipse Zone to get a weapon. So that might be worth it if you're trying to get a weapon. The second place that I would go after my one strike of Vanguard, if I got all my Vanguard bounties done, which takes about 10-12 minutes maybe, I go here. And the reason why I go here is because their bounties are very easy too. And make sure that you have the normal ones picked up, the normal XP ones, the cheap ones, and you also pick up the extras. And I always do this Lost Sector because there's a lot of enemies, and you can basically finish 6 to 8 bounties in one go in less than like 6 minutes, 8 minutes, I'd say. You don't always have to finish the Lost Sector. I would, because the extra bounties that you pick up, generally it's to kill one boss and to do one Lost Sector. That's 8,000 XP, 4,000 each. And typically all the other stuff is pretty easy. While doing Vanguard bounties and this area for this Lost Sector for Throne World, you ignore all your gunsmith bounties, and then if they do overlap, they overlap. You can just straight up ignore it, because the reason why you ignore it is because when you go to Cosmodrome, eventually you can use any weapon. But before you go to Cosmodrome, you go to the moon. So the moon, Eris, has very good bounties for you. So you can skip her bounties, though, if you don't want to farm her stuff. Generally, she has 2 good bounties. It's like get multi-kills. It's very easy because a bunch of thrall. You can do lost sectors by yourself, or you can be in sorrows. It can take less than 2 minutes. But the reason why I go to the moon is because of this. You pick up the lost sector nightmare one, and then you pick up the daily for 8 nightmares in a lost sector. So that's always going to be Nessus and EDZ. And EDZ and Nessus, they have very easy bounties. So you basically just match with whatever burns that they ask for bounties. I generally skip some bounties, such as super public event, that kind of stuff that seems like it takes a while. Because the only thing that I do is I just spawn on the bottom right, and I go into Widow's Walk for falling kills for my lost sector. If you need Cabal, I do the quarry on the top. They have just enough Cabal kills. It's like 35, and the bounties are 30. Same thing for Nessus. If you get the one for the Nightmare that you need 8 Nightmare kills. For Vex, it's in the middle, Artifact's Edge, and then I do the I think that's Quarry. Fallen, Exodus Black, and then you go to the Rift. Also, make sure to pick up patrols if you see kill bounties or pick up bounties. The Artifact's Edge has the easiest one because it's always going to be Vex. I would skip the pickup one at this one, going to the Cabal. But if there is a normal kill bounty, I would pick it up. So picking up kill bounties are just nice because that's just free XP while doing your normal thing. If it doesn't pop up, you just move along. So here, I would spawn down here for the Cabal one. You can drive across this lake of Vex Milk. Easy. And that's enough Cabal kills for your 30. You get like 35. Also, make sure not to kill the boss too quickly. You kill the nightmares first, and then you get the main boss down to like half, and then the next set of smaller mini boss nightmares will spawn. So then you should always get 5 per run, which obviously you only need 8. So if you do kill the boss too quickly, you get 3. So it works out. Dreaming City, if you have time, I would say. I usually skip ones for the blind well or public events or material pickup. So like, why do I even go here? There are some very easy bounties like Deathless. You get 70 kill streak on PvE enemies, just free. And the Lost Sector ones are very fast, and typically it's a 70 kill Scorn or 70 kill Taken. There is a single 100 kill of any type of enemy. It's up to you because these bounties do take twice as long. But if a Bay of Drowned Wishes comes up, which is like every 3 days, it can line up, and that's just free XP to run. That's like the quickest and fastest like to get a bunch of kills in one go because you spawn right there. You can skip these other lost sectors if you don't have the time. Next, I guess, would be just Cosmodrome. Cosmodrome, of course, you would have all the bounties. Ideally, we would have some of the bounties done already if our Vanguard strike or 1 or 2 strikes that we would run. That would take about 10 to 20 minutes. That if we did get here, we wouldn't use a stasis weapon. Stasis doesn't count for kinetic bounties. But in theory, if you got a strike for this place, it would help you a bunch. Just because you'd have free bounties already done. This is where you would start focusing on what gunsmith bounties that you have. And you would basically just do public events if you have that weekly. And if you don't have that weekly, I generally still spawn down here. Usually just because if I usually don't pick up my 3,000 unless I did a strike and already finish a bunch of extra bounties to buy extra 3,000 glimmer bounties. And then I would spawn on the bottom. The best area is the top, I think. But if you do need powerful combatants, generally always just look for a public event. If you're that hard on finding them, you can do this bottom lost sector. It's the fastest one. To get there, it's kind of slow. All the lost sectors kind of are. Skywatch is my favorite place to be to farm. Wars will go on. The public event is easy, and I don't know. That's just where I kill everything. There's a bunch of easy stuff. So when you're there, I'm not gonna actually go there. When you're there, there are two areas where if you leave this area and go southwest towards Moth Yards, Hive will be in those buildings. So if there's like nothing in the Skywatch, you can just go kill Hive in that direction. Or you can go to the terrestrial, I can't speak, complex where Fallen are, and you'll get approximately like 60 to 70 Fallen kills. And same thing with the Hive. It's a little less. It's like 50 maybe. But generally, you can always just farm XP, you can farm your gun kills, and then you can spawn back here, and generally there's stuff going on. The best thing about doing this type of farm is that you should be doing it solo, so then other people aren't trying to take your kills, or that they're trying to do the same thing as you are. You can always hoard these bounties until like you're with friends to turn them in. I generally don't, because I don't use my friends that way. Other little things is ideally you would have 3 characters, 2 alts. This does not mean that you have to play every single day. You would play your main character as much as you want, and then you would just get your bounties ready for the next day. So what that means is you pick up these extra bounties that are just the cheap ones, the 250 glimmer ones. Dreaming City is 1,000, so that's why I kind of said to skip some of those. Another quick thing to do is 1 eternity. Generally, you can get 4 to 6 bounties done, unless it's asking for a specific weapon, like pulse rifles. Maybe you might not get the 30 kills, because 30 kills is kind of a lot when rocket launchers are just easier to kill everything. And I would probably just focus on burns, and you kind of notice which ones are the easy ones. You can pick up all the cheap ones. I generally don't pick up the extra ones at all, because I usually just do 1 run and then I'm done. In theory, you would run your 1 character for 1 hour on efficiency on what you're picking up for bounties. So now what I'm going to get into next is your alt characters on how that goes. I'm just going to switch characters like I didn't play the day before. So when you pick up a bounty, when you buy a bounty, they last for 26 hours. So just kind of look into how you pick up bounties, or when you pick up bounties, so then they can cross over to the next day, because there's always new Vanguard bounties type of thing, so then you can double stack. And like I said, the XP pluses give you more XP than the repeatable ones. That's kind of why you do it this way. That's why your alts, you do it every other day, but your main character, you can play every day. You can play it like normal. You can just like throw this type of stuff out the window for the bounty farm method of what I'm showing and what I'm talking about. But with alt characters, you theoretically just play every other day to do your bounties. So your every other day would take about 2 hours, maybe 3. And if you want to do it quicker, you always skip Dreaming City. You'd skip Dreaming City and Europa. I would probably always do the nightmares on EDZ and or Nessus. It's never both at the same time, unless you picked up a double set of bounties, such as you pick up bounties last minute before reset, the daily reset at noon central, and you pick it up like just say minutes before it carries over to the next day. You would pick it up again, then you would have nightmare kills on both Nessus and EDZ. The fastest would probably be that, with the Nessus bounties, EDZ bounties, 1 Vanguard strike, maybe 1 Eternity, which is 12 minutes or so. And what else? I would say Savathun's Throne World would be after that. And after that, for last, to do your Gunsmith with your Cosmodrome, because they just kind of pair up together nicely. because all bounties in Cosmodrome, they don't require specific weapons, which is very nice. And that's it. That's really, it sounds simple, right? It's just the speed of how you can do it efficiently. So there are some bounties that you can do Vanguard outside of strikes. There's a grenade one. Only grenade one that actually counts is when it's just a XP plus. If it's an extra one, like the repeatable, then those ones have to be inside of Vanguard. There's that one, a multi-kill super one, and a precision shots one. Those three can be done outside of Vanguard. So what I'm going to show you now is hoarding bounties for the next season for how most people do it. What I've been told, I always have 60 bounties per character. You can hold up to 63. That includes all your quests on this left side. I generally delete them because you can pick up your quests again. The next thing would be, well, yeah, I keep 3 open because it depends on how the first story mission goes. They give you an artifact, a quest, and sometimes they give you a seasonal quest. That's why there's 3 open. You don't always want to have it at 63 because even if you turn them in right away, that XP doesn't go towards the artifact, which is the whole point why you save bounties, is to get your mods quicker from the artifact. So when I saved all these bounties, I saved specific ones. A lot of people say don't save more than 7 Vanguard, so then you don't do your 8th one and pick up the thing for the powerful that they give you. That doesn't really matter. Once you do get that powerful, that is extra XP, theoretically. So you kind of want that 8 if you just don't care about efficient leveling, because powerfuls don't always help you anyways from season to season. If it is from this season to a brand new expansion, then I would look into that more on not picking up powerfuls as fast as possible, where you would want to focus in a different way. So I picked up all these bounties, I finished them, I'm hoarding them. The only bad thing about it is that these same bounties, let's just say this one for instance, solar damage and Vanguard strikes bounty, because I'm carrying it into the first day of the season and I complete it because I turned it in, if this bounty pops up again that same day, I can't do this same exact bounty because I technically just finished it. That's the only bad thing about hoarding bounties. And that's how Destiny works. Which is fine. That's why I saved certain ones, because the easiest bounties to do, like I said before, that you can do at the same time, literally the best ones. Gunsmith bounties, because you can do them anywhere on the map. Of course, you can do it in Crucible, Gambit, whatever. But then I would run Savathun's World first, because their bounties are very fast. It takes 1 lost sector. You can get 6 to 8 bounties done in one go. And then you do Cosmodrome. So you can pick up the 4 dailies of Gunsmith and then pick up extra ones. I think it's up to 4 or 5 extra ones. Same thing for Savathun's World. So that's like 8 to 9 bounties. And then Cosmodrome, of course, it's about 8 to 9, including the weeklies. So what I just talked about is that none of these that I have in my 60 bounties done, none of them are Gunsmith. None of them are Cosmodrome or Savathun's World, Throne World. So that's my plan, is that I turn all these in once I get my artifact, or if I'm with buddies, I might turn them in so then they can get extra XP off me, if you want to do it that way. And then I would run my quick stuff. I'd make sure to pick up my Gunsmith bounties, maybe pick up the Vanguard bounties that can be done outside of Vanguard. That's why those Vanguard specific bounties I don't have, which are the precision shots one, the grenade one, and the super kill one. The super kill one is only the multi super kill one that works outside of Vanguard. And by the way, if you're running well does grant you super kills when you're inside the well using any type of weapon. You can't use abilities though. It doesn't count as super kills because it's meant to buff your weapon damage. So the next thing is, I guess the last thing, for a new season is just take your time, honestly. You do these bounties pretty quickly anyways. Maybe an hour farming per character a day, but not even, because if you play one main character, which is normal, you can do the farm in 1 hour, and then, or less, way less. If you get very efficient, it's about 30 minutes, because generally it'd be a lost sector, which is less than 6 minutes or so. They're very fast. Even a slow one that I was talking about on Throne World of capturing. The best thing to do is just pick up whatever you think is an easy bounty to do, and that the travel time is slow, and that you can also do it solo, because sometimes it's just bad to play with friends for this type of farm, because you can't always get the same amount of kills as normal. That's why you do lost sectors alone. That's why you go into strikes alone, because I'm not saying that other players are bad, but taking kills away from your friends too, doing the same exact thing, will make it slower. But it's fine if it takes like 2 strikes. Some strikes are just super fast. And that's about it. I hope this, not guide, but this idea helped you. And if I missed anything, they might be down below. This next thing is for advanced users before I close. Each week you get a well-rested bonus of times 5 XP for 5 levels. And that's not exactly for 5 levels. It's for 500,000 XP. So for every level, it's 100,000 XP. So if this next week rolled over and it was still the same season, I would want to hit rank 781 and about here where the mouse cursor is, like 3/4 of the bar. The reason why you do this is because if you have your seasonal challenges and you just have a good one that gives like this +3 one, yes, I didn't play Crucible. I might give it a go this coming season because of how aerial effectiveness kind of pissed me off, so whatever. And the ASCII restoration. Well, that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, so you turn this bounty in, which is a triple plus XP, when you're that close to your next level. So you're so close to your 500,000 XP. And you still have your well-rested perk. Well, you get this turn-in times 5. So this turn-in should give you like 2 levels, almost. If it's not 2 levels, they may have nerfed it in a way. They usually ninja nerf XP in some way on how they stack and how they multiply. This used to give much more XP. It used to be like 50,000 times 5, which is your well-rested perk. It might be a little less now, but it should still give you plenty of levels. That's how I turn in my stuff. And just make sure to pick up your crap too. You can always do like your 8 bounties of the week for Gambit. When you do your 8 extra bounties per week, which I did not do this week because I'm saving my level 777 just for funsies for the season. So like right here, 0 for 8 on Crucible. When you turn in the 8, then you get Bright Dust, of course, and then you get like 10,000 free XP just for doing 8 bounties. Same thing with doing pinnacles. Any type of pinnacle, which I definitely didn't do Shattered Throne because I failed my solo because I'm bad. When you finish any pinnacle, that's like another 10,000 XP. So if you notice that like you can do certain things at whatever time if you need the pinnacles, just know that like you can get free XP in many places. And if you have a good friend, they can usually run preservation, and if they're homies, they would just, let you join when they get to the end because of how terrible the beginning is. Well, that's my 2 cents on bounties and how efficient it can be. What's not efficient is how poorly non-edited this video was. Just under 30 minutes, but after this 30 minutes, I'm going to have it not exactly written out perfectly, but have a general idea of after you watch the video that it makes sense on paper in the comments or in the info. I hope this helps. I hope leveling isn't a pain. I know that Bungie has been making it easier for the artifact leveling in general. I'm just being stupid right now. The artifact. Yeah, this artifact used to be terrible for leveling. You used to have to go over 200 and some levels to get all of it. But even then, they wouldn't allow you to have all of them. But now they do. To get all of them, I believe it's level 127 or 147. I believe that they are lowering it again. And it makes sense. It shouldn't be too far past 100 because it's a way of engaging with the people that play it. I feel like offering the mods after hitting even 100 season pass level is perfect because it'll allow you to play the game with what Bungie is trying to offer you. So I think them lowering it is a good thing. The reason why I like to level, or if you want to do extra levels, it's not really for the bonus. The bonus doesn't always matter. It does help your ability damage in certain content. I would say dungeons and master mode, and not grandmasters that caps it, not master versions of raids. Sorry, it does help with dungeons, I believe, for master. Anyways, that should close it up. I don't have too much else to say, but as you can tell, I have stupid amounts of resources. I actually have 2 stacks of spin metal because I just farm too much on Cosmodrome. This is actually my 7th stack of like enhancement cores, which is just sad. But in general, you can see how much farming you can do if you do this way too much like I do. Like these fragments you can get from every single nightmare kill. You can get one by chance. And I don't do Sorrow's Harbor. I only do it for maybe 1 wave to do my bounties and then I leave. Usually I don't even finish out a round. And then these cores is how you can condense them and then you can farm weapons in the moon. So I did 50 recently. Here's a little tip that you can do the fusion rifle for Dreambreaker. You would go to the raid on the moon. I think it's Garden. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, you go to Garden, and I just use 2 special fusion rifles. Or you can use Vex Mythoclast, but it's a little bit slower. And I would use a sword for Eager Edge. So you would play solo. There are 35 Vex kills to do. 15 of them have to be with a fusion rifle, and you need 30 normal Vex kills, which can be with anything. And you just spawn here, pick up your bounty from the lantern, and yeah, go here. Just over and over. Don't go in the portal, because then you have to reset the raid, because I think it puts you in a different spot of spawning, and I don't think that the enemy is spawned there. So that's just an extra tip on how to farm that specifically. I think that's the easiest gun to farm for. And if you wonder what a god roll is, I would say Arrowhead Break. You want stability, firmly planted under pressure, and high impact reserves. PvE, I like Lead from Gold and Frenzy. And you can have like whatever else you want on it. Just get the 2 main perks really for PvE. And that should do it on how to farm bounties. And it should be faster. I guess it could be the same amount of time as this video. And again, I hope this helps. And have a good one.